Alright, this is your boy Brian. I'm over here in H-Town, near Baseball City, USA. If you know, you know. That's Houston, Texas. It's been about 2 years now that I've been with this company, and I've really gotten to spend a lot of time more in Houston, in the area, and I'm really getting to the point where, how do I put it? I'm getting more familiar with the roads and streets, if you know what I mean, the big highways and the byways. But we're here in H-Town. We're here, and we're going to be doing some local work at the depot where my company is in Houston, and we're going to go ahead and try to get you some nice areas around here to show you some of the different food they have and the different culture. I'm out and about. I'm riding around. I'm actually going to visit my brother right now and take a little ride. We're going to get over to stop in at Buc-ee's. And if you come to Texas, period, you have to go to Buc-ee's. That is a given. You can't avoid that place. You will do yourself a disservice without going there. We're going to go there. We may even do a small video and a walkthrough if that's something that would interest you. But they have really nice stores there. The food here is really, really good. They have a lot of Spanish food, Mexican food. They have a lot of other foods. But we're here. It's sunny. It says it's 92 degrees out. And to be honest with you, usually Houston's pretty muggy, but it doesn't appear to be that muggy. The traffic, let's see what time it is. It's 6:30 here. So traffic is kind of, let's just say it's congested. But you got to hit it just right in order to come through here a little smoother. But we're not in a hurry, thank God. But the other thing I wanted to talk about is cash. You know, cash money. Every time I travel, I usually bring a little bit of cash with me because, you know, when you're at the airport, you have these people running the buses, and you have these people doing the mundane jobs of life that need done, you know. And the way I look at it is, you know, they're making an hourly wage, and I understand that, but it's nice to be able to flip them a few bucks. You know, I usually give the bus driver $5 every time I go from the airport to the rental car, or vice versa, because, you know, it's not about the $5, it's about the appreciation. You know, you're saying, you, the bus driver, I appreciate you, the bus driver that stopped and had a smile on your face and tried to bring a little encouragement to the people that are traveling and had a good attitude. You deserve to have someone else to say, hey, I appreciate you, and this is a token of my gratitude towards you. And let's put it this way, if you pick up on the average of 20 people, I know it's usually more than that sometimes, but let's just say average of 20. If everybody there was to appreciate you with a couple dollars as a bus driver and say, hey, here's $2, you know, let's just say you're making 15, 18, 20 bucks an hour, you know. At that point, I think it takes about, to be honest with you, I think it takes about a half hour round trip, then they're picking up another set of people. So let's just say if everybody there even gave you $1, you know, just $1, and said thank you, that's another 20 bucks an hour, you know. So now you'd be upwards of 40 bucks, 38 to 40 bucks an hour. Now that's something that would be a game changer for you, you know. But unfortunately, I see these people on there, and maybe it's not that they don't want to give. Maybe it's that we've created a society now that says the almighty piece of plastic is the only thing that we carry around. I still like to carry cash because, let's put it this way, there's a lot of situations in life that cash will get you through a situation a little easier, you know. We are talking about, some people don't even acknowledge plastic. I mean, you're dealing with foreigners and immigrants and stuff like that maybe they don't have a system that says I can take a credit card. So, but the almighty cash dollar, you know, they still honor that. So at the end of the day, if everybody was to give a little bit like that, it wouldn't be a burden. But what happened was I watched everybody rifling through their bags and trying to cut people off. That's the other thing that these people need to understand. No matter where I go, it isn't just Houston. Everybody wants off that bus, and they want off now. But I'm just going to give you a little tip as a world traveler. Just sit down. Just let them people elbow each other and rifle each other and drag their bag across their ankles and everything else. Let them do that. Give them the 2 minutes that it takes. When they're off, you're the last one. And you have free reign to get your bags. And my bags are usually, they're pretty heavy. I have toolboxes and clothing bags that are big enough you could put a human body in them. But at the end of the day, I watched everybody get off, and I grabbed my bags and I staged them up because I have 3. And I went ahead and put 2 outside, and then I went to grab the 3rd one, and I walked up front and I handed the lady a $5 bill, and it shocked her. It really shocked her. She's like, "Oh, wow, thank you. I appreciate you. And I said, "That's not a problem." I said, "It's just a token of appreciation to say thank you for, being a bus driver and taking us safely to the rental car." Okay? But as I got off, she got out of her seatbelt, actually. I mean, think about that. It's just a measly $5, but it shocked her to the point where she got out of her seat and came back to the end of the bus, and as I'm loading up my bags, and said, "Thank you, I really appreciate you. You were the only one." When she said that, "You were the only one," and in that moment, I was like, man, isn't that sad? But I don't know. I just encourage people to pay it forward and look out for your fellow citizen, and say to yourself, even a couple dollars could change someone's day. It's not about the couple dollars. It's about the fact that you gave something to them that they didn't expect. But that's just a lesson in life that says, as a world traveler, some of these people, they've never seen you before, and maybe they have a prejudgment of you just by looking at your appearance. Like, I'm showing up, I travel real comfortable. Here I got if I don't have a stained t-shirt on when I'm traveling, then it's not me, it's an imposter. I usually have barbecue stains on my t-shirts, and I have stuff like that. And now there's some people that'll say, well, that's ridiculous to travel like that. But you know what? You do what you do, and I'll do what the DIYer, does, and I'm going to be comfortable, so to speak. But the other thing I want to say was, you really can't judge a book by its cover. I was sitting on the plane, and I'm always trying to get the window seat, and then in between me, there was an empty seat. Sometimes that happens. I've noticed you'll have an empty seat on certain flights, and then this lady, she looked to be, I don't know, 45 to 50, Gen X era, and you wouldn't have thought she would have did what she did. But I usually sleep. Okay, I sleep on the flights, and I'm wired up tighter than a banjo. By the time I get off, I'm wide awake. Okay, I get a power nap, and so forth. I mean, if the plane was to have turbulence and go down, at the end of the day, I wouldn't even know it. I'd basically be like Kenny Rogers. I'd die in my sleep, like he said in that song. But at the end of the day, the best you can hope for is that, to die in your sleep, by the way. But anyway, so at the end of the deal, I go to get up, and now, mind you, let me back up. When they give you snacks and so forth, they have a little disclaimer on there. They're telling you over the microphone, please don't just pack all your garbage in the seat back, because someone's got to come in here and clean the plane when you're done. And it adds up to time spent in there is less time it takes to load people, and it just becomes an issue. So I noticed they come through with garbage bags, and they ask you several times, "Do you have any garbage?" Okay, so let's just get that up front and let that be known. That's what they do. If you've never traveled, if you've never flown, that's what they do. They walk through the aisles, and they keep saying, they eyeball your drink, they eyeball your snacks, they try to ear hustle your conversation and see what you're doing. And it's almost like they're, in a way, it's almost like they're like the German Gestapo. They're looking out to try to see if there's something you're going to do that they can run back and report to the Central Command, in a way. But for the most part, they bring the garbage bags through, and they ask you, "Do you have any garbage?" And so anyway, at the end of the flight, we're pulling in, and you're getting ready to pull your seatbelt off. I always pull mine off on the runway, even though they say, please keep your seatbelts on. I'm thinking, well, where am I going from here? Where am I going to go? But anyway, I pull my seatbelt off. I look over. The lady picks up her purse, because she stacked her purse in the middle of the thing, which is fine. No one was sitting there. Underneath, she had 4 or 5 different bags of cookies and crackers and pretzels and all kinds of stuff, a cup with ice and water drizzling down the seat. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't take any snacks with me, like from the lady. I always bring my own. And I slept. So I'm like, are you kidding me? And part of me says, I should say something, you know. I should say something because that's the type of person I am. I think it's ridiculous. And other part of me said, don't say nothing, just let her go ahead and go about her business. Well, I couldn't take it. By the time I'm going to get off, I stand up and I'm looking at this trash and garbage. And I said, can you believe somebody trashed this seat like that? And the lady didn't even say nothing. She just looked forward as if I was Bruce Willis in that movie, I See Dead People. She didn't even look at me. She didn't even acknowledge my presence in the area, even though she'd been sitting next to me for 4 hours from New Jersey to Houston. And I thought to myself, isn't that amazing? You know, somebody raised this person to do this and not even have a care and concern. And this is how disconnected we are in society, that we can just leave our trash right on the seat, and when someone calls you out on it and says something subliminally where you can hear them, they act like as if I don't acknowledge that, then it's not going to be it's not going to reflect on my day. I'm going to be able to ignore it. You know, I used to have when I was a young kid, I used to have these dreams, and these, I don't know if they were skeletons or what, they would chase you, you know. And I used to live next to a sand bed. When I was small, I lived next to a sand bed, and we used to run and jump off the sand piles and throw our bikes over them and do all kinds of different crazy stuff. You know, boys will be boys type stuff. And I remember having this dream, and I don't know what it meant other than, well, I kind of do know because I had a person tell me that used to study dreams, but that's a different video for a different time. But anyway, I used to have these skeletons that was chasing me through the sand bed, and I would have to, inevitably I came to this cliff, and I used to have to jump off the cliff or get what I thought taken by the skeletons, right? So I used to jump off the cliff in my sleep, and you know, to your own peril, to your own death, you would die if you didn't do one thing. If you closed your eyes, and during the fall, and you waited a second and opened your eyes, you'd be safely on the ground, and the skeletons would be up top. I know it's crazy, but anyway, this is the way this reminded me of. I said, maybe this dream years ago was telling me about this lady, right? Because she did exactly what I did in my dream. I would close my eyes, right? Or just ignore the situation, so to speak, if you will. And when I said that, boy, look at this. Somebody trashed the seat, threw all their garbage here. She put that same face on in a way in my mind's eye that I seen years and years and years ago as a young lad. And it's just funny, right? She ignored that, as if it went away, and to a point it did go away, because she just exited down the aisle. But as I walked down the aisle, I said to myself, you know, the men usually get blamed for the stuff like this. Men usually get blamed for making a mess. Men usually get blamed for throwing trash around and just having unorganized. You wouldn't think that of a woman, technically. I mean, if you're a person in society that says, hey, look, I grew up in Gen X, and how do I put it? You used to get a switch on the back of your legs, or you remember them race car tracks that used to be real curly cues? Like you could make them, they're real flimsy. We used to get a willow stick, or we'd get a race car track on the back of our legs. If we did something, boys will be boys, but boys will also get their ass whipped. Okay, let's just put it like that. And anyway, that type of situation, you would, if you're going, say you're the stewardess and you walk down there at aisle 10, and they got, like I said, that Gestapo mentality, like they have this, it's almost like they can memorize who was in the seats in a way. You know what I mean? They kind of know. And I have a kind of a status with them because I've been flying so long. They usually come up to me and they'll say, "Oh, Mr. Seymour, thank you for being a, you know, whatever, a Premier 1K," and they give you a little spiel, you know, and everybody around you looks at you like, who the hell is this guy? Because he's in a stained t-shirt, and they're coming over here and they're acknowledging him by name, which they don't understand that you got to fly over 100,000 miles a year in order to get that status, okay? But I'm looking like, you know, I'm the average Eddie in America with a barbecue stain on his shirt, because they don't expect that, because they're judging the book by the cover, so to speak. And they'll come up and say, Mr. Seymour, oh, we really appreciate you spending your time and your business with us, and we appreciate you being a 1K Premier member, and blah, 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 right? Well, that don't impress me. I just say, okay, well, thank you, whatever. And sometimes they'll even come up and say, sir, you've been upgraded to first class, or, hey, would you like these additional snacks that we have for our 1K members? And it puts you on the spot, to be honest with you. It makes you feel like, damn, these people are literally making a scene here, and I got to sit with these other locals, you know what I mean? The locals that think that you're trying to be something you're not. And I'm like, no, if you knew me, I'm an average Joe. I'm an average Edith or Eddie of society. I'm not a highfalutin person. I'm a Gen X, but I grew up getting my ass switched with a stick or the race car tracks. I'm the guy that grew up and said, hey, you better pick your stuff up or your mother's going to wring your neck here, And it's like, at the end of the day, this is what I'm thinking about. This lady's Gen X, and here she was. Her parents must have, I don't know how she was raised, but apparently she never got a switch on the back of her legs because she thought nothing of leaving it for the next person. So as I'm leaving the plane, the lady's about 3 feet in front of me, and the stewardess always, and the pilot will come out at the end of the plane, and they'll say, oh, thank you, have a great day, thank you. I stopped them immediately. I said, hold up a minute, just to let you know. Aisle 10, I says, I did not make that mess. The nice young lady made the mess. And that lady, the one that ignored me, the one that kept her eyes focused forward as if she had horse blinders on, and she's running down, the Baymont track, okay, so to speak. She had these horse blinders on. It stopped her in her tracks when I said that in a way. And I said that was a nice lady next to me that made the mess and left all the scraps and the debris in the seat. She did a half turn. She went like this just enough so that her eyeball could see who said it. But yet she didn't want to turn around because she knew I was at the situation that said, I will call you out on it in front of the pilot, okay? I will let them know that this time it wasn't the man that made the mess. It was a nasty woman that made the mess. And now she didn't look nasty. She looked like she had I'll be honest with you, she had a diamond rock on her hand that was big enough you could have cut through a vault with it, okay? This thing, she had some money, she had means, but she had a bad upbringing. There's no reason to leave all the debris in the seat. And I say all that to say this. Not all Gen Xers were raised the same, even though we were in the same era. Some people got away with stuff and didn't get a switch on the back of their legs. Some people got to dump the spaghetti that their stepmother burned into the ditch and didn't get a switch on the back of their legs. Some of us, we lied about it because we didn't want to eat the spaghetti because it tasted so damn bad. If you've ever had burnt spaghetti, okay, that we lied and said, no, we ate it, even though we didn't realize we were outgunned, so to speak, and we had, someone else in the tribe that gave us up. You know what I mean? And he was right to give us up. He told the truth. My one brother told the truth. But at the end of the day, me and my other brother, we're the ones that got the switching. You know what I mean? So, yeah, we shouldn't have lied. Okay? But at the end of the day, I look at it like this. Back then, I think I was thinking in a situation was, maybe I'm saving the feelings of my stepmother because she don't know how to cook. Okay? And I didn't. What would have been better if I said, "Oh yeah, I dumped it in the ditch because it was the spaghetti sauce was burnt and it tasted like trash." Would I got a switch then, or would I got a Medal of Honor, so to speak? So it's said all that to say this: not all people are raised the same. Here you are looking at someone that has a barbecue stain on their shirt that didn't leave the trash, but would have been accused of leaving the trash, and you have another lady over here that's got. She's got the Gucci pants and whatever else, the Prada outfit, and she's got the big diamond ring. But here she was in a mental situation that says she was raised in a ghetto. You know what I'm saying? She was raised that said, I don't care about other people, and I'll leave my trash to let everybody else pick it up. Where the guy with the barbecue stain, he wasn't going down for this one. I wasn't getting let's just say a societal switch on this one. I wasn't getting the Gestapo to walk back down aisle 10 and say, look at that filthy guy with the barbecue stain, left all these crackers and crumbs everywhere and left the cup just laying there. That wasn't happening on my watch, people. And you can call me type A if you want. You can call me whatever you want, but I'm not letting no one get away with that, and I'm not letting no one accuse me of something that I didn't do. I've done a lot of bad things in my life. I've done a lot of good things, but I will own up to what I've done, and I will own up to what I didn't do. So we're headed, I don't know how that conversation got there, but anyway, this is your boy Bry. I'm going to give you some reviews. We're going to bring it up on the, I'm back on the road, people. I've been traveling. I just got back from, where the heck did I just go? Oh, I just was in West Virginia area, and we made that happen. The job turned out flawless. I was with a good employee, a friend of mine actually, and we did a quality job. Okay, very quality job, and we didn't cut any corners. We how do I put it? We walked all the way through the entire breakdown of the engine. I work on specialized engines, and we did everything with quality. We cleaned everything. And here, let me just say this. Let me just say this before I go. When you're taking things apart as a mechanic, carry some denatured alcohol with you in a spray bottle. And here's why. When you're dealing with tolerances that are in the 1 and 2 and 4,000 range, a 4,000 tolerance or feeler gauge is about roughly the thickness of a human hair. When you're dealing with those type of tolerances, how do I put this? You have sometimes bushings and gaskets and stuff that are on the mating surfaces, right? If you don't get them off all the way, some of those tolerances just on the paper gaskets are, and the neoprene gaskets and stuff like that are more than 4,000 or 5,000 or right around there. So you can, the specific thing I was working on was some bushings. If you don't get that all the way off there, and I take a pick, I go around, I clean everything, I check the surfaces, and then I take denatured alcohol, even grit and grime, believe it or not, old grease, and some of the grease when it burns under high heat, it's called coking. It almost looks like charcoal. It's real brittle. It's called coking. Anytime grease gets real hot like that, it's called coking and it burns. But that coking and that debris on there can leave a they call it like a higher tolerance in there, so that your true tolerance is too tight. Okay, so I always take that denatured alcohol and I wipe everything really clean, and I make sure there's nothing left there. There's no dings in the metal that have like a high metal in there that's going to leave an impression or obstruction that's going to cause interference. But we did all that. We did a wonderful job, and it was really nice and refreshing to work with an old friend, so to speak, and actually a person that I would say is a high quality mechanic, technician, if you will. Sometimes you just get people that are thrown in a position that are just bodies, okay, and they're just like they're a corpse, you know. And other times you get an actual technician. This time I had a technician that actually cares about what he's doing and is on the same level. I could finish his sentences, he could finish mine, because we're both at that level that says we're not going to do it wrong, because exactly, if you're not doing it right, you're not doing it, okay? And that's my motto. So at the end of the day, it was really refreshing. We got her done, and we went through all the checks that you're supposed to do to make sure that they're not going to catch you riding dirty. You, the DIYer, are the only one that can do that. So at the end of the day, here I am in Houston. I'll be working with the same individual, and he will go nameless because I don't want to put him out on my videos, because I didn't get any kind of write-off or permission slip saying I can enter him into the context. But at the end of the day, if you know, you know, and I try to respect all people, and I don't just throw them in my videos. And I'll be honest with you, let me just say this. I had a video, I think it was last year, that was probably one of my best videos I ever made. And you, the DIYers, you, the general viewing public, will never get to see it, because I honored a situation that said, my buddy told me, oh man, I don't want to be on the internet. And I was like, okay. And I went to take it off the internet, and I accidentally erased the damn video. It was a video out on a lake, and it was such a good video. I mean, my hair, I don't have long hair, but my hair was just whipping in the wind, and I was narrating a situation that was just, it would have went viral, people. In my mind, it's still going viral. But this is your boy Bry. I got to get on down the road, literally. I've got to watch the traffic, and if I haven't been keeping eye contact with you, the DIYer, it's because I'm watching the road, and I'm making sure that I'm getting on down the road, people. This is your boy Bry. I'm going to bring you some more reviews while I'm here in the big Lone Star state of Texas. Keep her real, and keep her on your side of the road and in between the ditches, people. This is your boy Bry. I got to go.